Already? Ready for the lesson? Sorry. Okay. Great. Okay. Okay, after a quick stretch, we will now start this session by welcoming our next speaker. So it is an honor and privilege to introduce our invited speaker, Dr. Andes Economist Iwan Winardi, Master of Management. He's a highly accomplished professional whose career spans academia, industry leadership, and organizational involvement. Dr. Iwan Winardi is a committee member of the Foreign Cooperation at GAPMMI, which is the Indonesian Food and Beverage Industry Association. He is also the managing director of PT Buana Tirta Utama and PT Fruit Inc. Indonesia, which are companies that focus on packaged food and beverage manufacturing, also the processing of fruit and vegetable-based ingredients. Dr. Iwan holds a bachelor's degree in financial management from the University of Surabaya. He continued his academic journey with a Master of Management from the same university. Then he completed his doctoral program in Management Science at Widya Mandala Catholic University, Surabaya, with a dissertation titled The Impact of Public Ownership as Antecedent Variable on Corporate Governance Effectiveness, which is an Indonesian case. So beyond his academic and professional accomplishment, Dr. Iwan has a strong background in organizational leadership. He was actively involved in student activism during his university years, serving as a vice chairman of the student representative body. He later became the chairman of the Surabaya University Alumni Association from 1997 to 2001, and he continues to contribute as a Board of Trustees member of the Alumni Association to this day. With his deep insights in business management, corporate governance, and food industry innovation, we are truly privileged to hear from him today. His career began in 1988 in the field of finance and accounting at PT Pamargaha Indo Jatim, a joint venture under the Ometrako Group and ADS Alfindo. His last position in the corporate sector was as director of PT ADS Alfindo Putra Setia Tbk, before venturing into entrepreneurship in 1998 to build his own food and beverage enterprises. So, Dr. Iwan will be presenting his lecture on implementation of AI in the agri-food industry. Let us give a hand of applause to welcome Dr. Iwan Winardi.
Good afternoon, everyone. I want to accelerate it from Prof. Naswi. The presentation, the perspective from Prof. Naswi is upstream, how the land use with the AI, the example about paddy rice fields, how to be managed by technology. I'm from Food and Beverage Association. My perspective in the third discussion is about downstreaming. Because why this important? In the upstream, in the agriculture, all the output have a perishable products. So need to be processed to make it circular, safe, and distributed at affordable and available everywhere. So to make you more have a sense about how we do process as a downstream, I want to present the videos about our member of association, their factory, how they process the output from upstream into processed food. Bu Putri, please present the video.
Okay. Is the committee ready to present the video? Okay.
This is the artificial. We are joining Hannover Messe, the largest technology exhibition. There are 500 companies, big and small, with a member. How the wheat by Bogasari. This is seaweed. In the downstream, we commit to investing automation, digitalization on food safety, critical control points under ecosystem industry 4.0, making food safe, affordable, and available everywhere. So, is Mayora one of our members? Familiar in Vietnam, Malaysia, you can find their products like Kopiko and their example of human-machine interface. To deliver agriculture product with a midstream equipment should be delivered with brand. So the example is a brand maybe in the region like Pocari Sweat. You can easily on as well in your country. Having us to control critical control point and doing distribution. the finished good into the retailer. In the downstream, in Indonesia, we already invest IoT, machine learning into our production facility to control the operation. So circular economy is in action after we offtake the upstream output. To deliver the upstream output, we need also packaging. So we also do recycling. Thank you. This how we already preserve all output from the upstream with the equipment to make it circular economy in action. Maybe you not familiar with the terminology circular economy, you can explore later on. In concept is the output from upstream is perishable. They need equipment to preserve and make it available in the economy as long as possible. So that's why need the processing equipment to preserve it. Now I present the perspective about the food and beverage in a glance in Indonesia. After you saw all the investment of our members in the downstream, accelerated from the second discussion about the upstream, how the land use now after the land use output, the next is a downstream. Maybe you familiar with hilirisasi. Hilirisasi is in the agri industry is to preserve all the perishable products from the upstream output. Next. Next. So in Indonesia, we are archipelago country. 2/3 from our income is spent for food. 1/3 is a processed foods, need equipment like you already shown in the video. So food and beverage industry play a key role from people spending, because 2/3 in average should be consumed for food, even raw or processed. So this is the data about the market potential. Next. This about the situation. This purchasing manufacturing index, how we offtake the upstream product. Of course, the demand is up and down. Next. Who invests in the downstream? There are two investors, foreign direct investment still. So Indonesia is a potential market. We still grow. And domestic direct investment also grow positively every year. Next. So this detail by industry. Industry makanan, food and beverage is the seventh industry which have a priority for the realization of the investment. Next. Next. Indonesia toward high income country. We expect in the year 2045, we will have population almost 318.9 million people. So the processed food products in the future, not looking for cheap products, more varieties, more added value, more functional, better quality. This the way downstream of thinking how to produce their processed food and beverage after the upstream. Next. This pattern about us, where's the we call demographic bonus. So the young generation is future to preserve food in Indonesia. That's why we also give this picture for you. So each generation, they have their own behavior, how to perceive the food and beverage. Later, you can explore more deeper. You can download the file. I don't want going into details because it's a lot of statistical and strategic information you have to know. So today presentation is important. You are the future of the food. Food means is for humanity. So we need a technology helping human to manage land use and how to preserve food for our life. Next. Next is about economic details. Maybe so you take time to digest all the statistics, but don't worry, to give you more confidence that the food industry as a downstream after the upstream, because this faculty is agricultural technology. This more upstream technology should be learned, but to run in the downstream is more multi-interdiscipliner. There are need food science as well to support pharmaceuticals, technology information, engineer. Next. This F&B industry in Indonesia, the establishment from medium, small, medium, large, and the number still growth, and a number of employee working in the sectors also matters. Also, we also contribute to the gross domestic products. Next. This trade balance between ASEAN country. So semi-processed and processed food we export to ASEAN and other countries based on economic partnership agreement. Next. This trade balance, semi-processed and processed food. So we have to know our food not only produced by our land, some still imported, some country still also buy from us. We also buy from them. We still deficit among ASEAN. Next. This top 20 export destination from our semi-processed and processed food. So this about the statistic. We mentioned about the country. You have to know the opportunity as a global supply chain is a very challenging. Then your faculty focus in the upstream. So we need collaborate with the downstream. This 20 export country to Philippines, China, Malaysia, Vietnam, Singapore, Thailand, etc. Next. And we also import from other countries, like from Brazil, China, from Thailand as well. Next. This in detail, what kind of we export this in detail. Later you can explore more deeper after you download the presentation. Next. This we import. What kind of product we import, like cane sugar from Brazil, etc. until the bottom of the tables. Next. Yeah, we already saw this picture. Next book. Now, international management development, we put our country as a world competitiveness ranking. Indonesia is in the 40th, while Thailand, Malaysia, and Singapore is upper than us. But don't worry, we have a young star will be fighting with our agriculture in the upstream, and in the downstream, we committed to invest to accelerate it for next. Next book. So maybe you still remember in year 2020, we have a health crisis, then follow with the economic crisis, after the economic crisis, logistic crisis because the lockdown, then following with the commodity crisis because the farmers in the upstream cannot go to the work, and the energy crisis. Of course, the uncertainty make us under pressure. The profit getting smaller, uncertainty make it our cost increase, and a new normal we already adaptive, but currently we saw the geopolitical dynamics, climate change, financial crisis, and etc. Next, this is the challenge. So the impact of the current situation, I think during these 5 years, you are already in the university. This our current, you need to study deeper and more focused in the upstream, because food is a part of the social, need a social impact as a food security. Next. So new global geopolitical escalation also will be disrupted our energy. Next. And currency investment in even the tariff from US included the new war, India and Pakistan. This you have to know as well to appreciate your upstream for food. Next. Next. This is the impact. Of course, during this dynamic situation, there are, I'm sorry, is some mix up with the Bahasa Indonesia, but with your mobile with phone easily generated to English. So it's a lot of change during your era. No more friend shoring or near shoring. No more bilateral. And a lot of dispute in a World Trade Organization. You can explore more in the news, but it's happening in the downstream, how we offtake the upstream after the farmer planting everything and process and sell, but the world is changed already. Next. You already heard from Prof. Naswi about the feed, fuel, and food. So in the downstream, we have 3F conflict should be balanced. So output from the upstream can be used for feed. You remember the second discussion? Feed is for what? Animal. And fuel is maybe you familiar with biodiesel, and cane sugar can convert into ethanol mixed with our gasoline and for food. These three should be managed, but in the upstream, we have another F, fiber. Fiber means all the clothing you are using is from cotton, so land will be conflict for shirt you wear, for jeans with cotton you wear, or planting food. Food will be competing for animals, fuel, or for human. This grand strategy should be managed the resources to fulfill the 3F in the downstream. We face this one. While in the upstream, you are more have choice to use land for feed, for fuel, and for food. Next, this background about the downstream. Now, the topic is about Industry 4.0, artificial intelligence, and everything. We are a lighthouse as a benchmark for industry appointed by the government to give samples to the smaller industry to do revolution, the equipment and the way we practices the factory as of taker, the upstream output from farm. Next. Even in Bahasa, I think this you have to know this our roadmap about the industry, food and beverage. Next. This also our roadmap and the regulation rely on how to making Indonesia 4.0. So Indonesia government also support doing automation in the downstream. So like today's topic in the upstream, we want to go into artificial intelligence. Don't worry, in your downstream also have the same view how to use technology and offtake all the output from the upstream. Next. This also delivering competitiveness and readiness for the human resource in a downstream. Maybe you can use this pattern also in the upstream. Next. This underlying that a government already give assignment to food and beverage chairman as a ambassador to making Indonesia 4.0. Next. The success factor also need investment. Indonesia is GII rank is lowest comparing with Vietnam, Philippines, Malaysia, Thailand, and Singapore. Next. Next. The world has changed rapidly and drastically. That's why we have to have a new normal, knowledge and technology, agile, competence, and have adaptation to follow the change. Next. This also how we do readiness, how we transform into industry 4.0. There are pillar to run the management and organization, people and culture, product and service, smart technology, and factory operation. Have you seen in the video? We run a predictive maintenance, robotic, machine learning, human-machine interface, everything, as you already heard in the upstream technology. Next. This is the self-assessment. You can explore further the 5-pillar assessment. So in the lighthouse, they give us direction about the management organization, people and culture, product services, technology, and a factory operation. There are a 5-pillar to be assessed. Next. These 9 technology should be covered to do transformation until the cloud computing as well. Next. Next is also same like how we do assessment. Next. This is a biosector. So food and beverage also expected from the Ministry of Industry to making Indonesia 4.0, and the agro means also in the upstream. Next. This is an example of the 3 company. Indolacto is the product, maybe you familiar with milk, Indomilk. There are all robotic, Internet of Things. This example, maybe you can find time in the future to take a look, mostly in East Java, just 4 hours from here. Next. So how to do implementation? The technology provider we needed. Investment is a must. Next. And a mentoring scheme, also government provide a mentoring scheme to the industry to scoring their readiness to do making Indonesia 4.0. Next. The opportunity, but need competence of human resources. So it's an opportunity for next generation like you all, research and innovation, software development, agility in business. Next. Distribution also changed. Previously is multi-channel, now becoming omni-channel. So all the terminology, if you are not familiar now, you can explore further after you download the presentation. Next. This augmented reality. Next. Next. This about Internet of Things. Automation as in a factory. Next. Next. This like digitalization in the downstream. So in the downstream, you will saw equipment, not the land and all the food planted there. Next. This also about the green economy. So to run the equipment, we need electricity. Digitalization also helping us to saving energy. Next. This related with the food safety. Food safety is matters to deliver output from farm and make it circular, safe, affordable, and available everywhere. Next, this pillar to run making Indonesia 4.0. Next. So if you don't add digital now, you already become digital. Next. So change in the mentality and become a culture that digitalization in your era now is coming. Next. The ecosystem, total ecosystem about downstream, agro and food industry, we have to be resilient, affordable, competitive, and a part of global supply chain. We consistency to do synchronization upstream. Upstream means farm. And we expect the farm in Indonesia or in your country also running with a better technology. We are a downstream. We collaborate, so it means inclusive business model. And government also provide incentive if the industry already in the 4.0. Next. This quadruple helix. So regulator, as you saw, as a government already concerned, the industry also commit do investing. Today, we are academia also discussing about this innovation. The next is our awareness and cares. This is all the view about the downstream. As a closing today, after you hearing the upstream from Professor Naswi. Thank you, Ibu Putri.
Okay, let's give an applause for Dr. Iwan. Okay, so thank you once again, Dr. Iwan, for such a comprehensive and insightful presentation. Today, we've gained a valuable overview of the Indonesian food and beverage industry. It is a significant role in the national economy and the strategic directions being taken to ensure its resilience and global competitiveness. Dr. Iwan has taken us through Indonesia's market potential, that demand for safe, high quality, innovative, and functional food products. And we've also seen how evolving consumer behaviors, especially for you, millennials and Gen Z, are actually reshaping product expectations from sustainability to digital convenience. And in parallel, we explored the industry's external challenges from the food and beverage industry itself, such as the global trade shifts, supply chain vulnerabilities, environmental regulations. If you remember the three Fs, they are competing for the same land, and the urgent push toward digital transformation and Industry 4.0. And one of the key takeaways today is how the government and industry, through GAPMMI Association, are collaborating through strategic programs like the development of Industry 4.0 Lighthouse programs, where selected companies serve as role models in applying technologies like AI, IoT, big data, and automation in their production processes. So for all of us here, especially the university students and future professionals, understanding your country's strategic plan for the food and beverage industry is essential. You are the next generation of scientists, engineers, entrepreneurs, and policymakers who will help shape how we process, develop, and distribute food. Industry 4.0 through AI is not just a technological shift, it is a call for adaptability, collaboration, and leadership in ensuring our food systems to become smarter, safer, and more sustainable. With that, we now open the floor for question and discussions. Please feel free to raise your hand and turn on your mic, and maybe briefly introduce yourself, your name, and which country you are from. So we'd love to hear your thoughts and reflections. I will point maybe wants to go first. The one with the fail, chocolate fail. Okay, so introduce yourself first. What's your name and from which country you are from?
Okay, hello everyone. My name is Tari. I'm from Indonesia and currently I'm studying at Hasanuddin University. Okay, so I want to ask about distribution in food chain. Distribution. In Indonesia, we have a lot of island, like small islands, and that's for so many different islands. And the problem is the smaller the island or the city that's far from the food industry factory, the price will be higher due to distribution cost. This is a problem because people from smaller island or city, most of them are poor or having low income. Okay. I also believe that every place has their own way to fulfill their own needs from nature. However, polluted environments and climate change can make the poor agriculture yield, so they cannot fulfill their own needs. So how we solve this problem so they can fulfill their needs and have a lower price to afford their own needs. Thank you.
Okay, I think Dr. Iwan, you can answer the question this first.
This a very specific question for Indonesia case. As we know, previously, even the gasoline in Papua, they pay 4 times comparing like we buy in Java Island. We have 17,000 island. Our coastal length is the longest in the world. We have almost 2,000 dialect. So logistic is matters, how to distribute evenly, make it the price similar with the Java Island. But unfortunately, all the downstream, almost 80% in this Java Island. So the infrastructure is not well developed in the further outer island. But our government understand with this situation, they do intervention. Now you can find the same gasoline price, quietly same rice price in Papua. I give you example. Papua is most written in the news, but for smaller island, the problem is logistic, just matter of time. Some they have a local wisdom to to make their food security. They planting like a sweet potato or whatever they can preserve. Some they have their own carbo, like in a Papua they have sago. Some they eat corns. In Sulawesi, you easily banana with a very special varieties. If you cut and fry, you cannot distinct this French fries or banana fries because uh, is very fine stats inside theirs. So we have government to solve this problem. So to make social welfare can be afforded and a food can be afforded for everyone in Indonesia.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Iwan. Miss Fari, is the question answered, or do you want to give more feedback about this?
I think that is enough. Thank you.
Okay, so it is a very long process for this matter to be solved, because we're talking about logistics and varying islands, but that does not mean that it cannot be solved. The government has taken several steps towards lowering the prices, as we've seen in the Papua region, and we can hope that it can also be spread, these regulations, to other smaller islands. Okay, I think we have other questions, Miss Mus. Okay, you can turn on your mic.
Um, Good afternoon, sir. So my name is Musrifa. I am from the Philippines. I studied at Western Mindanao State University, and I'm currently taking Bachelor of Science in Agriculture. So I just want to share first one common issue in our country, that is that our country farmers grow good crops but have no direct access to the buyers. So they end up selling at unfair prices or letting produce go to waste. So I believe that AI can help bridge that gap. So my question is, how can AI be used to connect small farmers directly to the market, or to help them make smarter selling decisions through data and forecasting? Thank you.
Can I go direct? Yes, the situation is same in our country, also similar. Farmer planted fruits, vegetable, and cereal, rice. Sometimes no off-taker, even if off-take, the price is very low. Before we go further to AI, this impacted, you have to know, this impacted into food loss. Food loss means this actually from farm should be taken as a food, but becoming organic waste. Organic waste impacted to the climate change. So same situation with us. To solve this before going to AI, the cold chain should be built. If you go to outer island, you can find onion leaf. We name it bawang bombay yang panjang itu. After harvest, they waiting trucks to bring the onion go to the wet market. The truck coming, this vegetable already roughened 10%. During trucking to the wet market, wasted again another 10%. In the wet market, waiting buyers, another roughen again 10%. All the losses, 30%, the retailer just easily add on 30% to the retailers. But if the cold chain well managed, for examples like in Thailand, is much better. So like a seafood, you go to restaurants with 100 US dollars, you can eat all the exotic seafood for family. But when a cold chain not exists, $100, maybe you can eat 2 pieces exotic fish in Indonesia. So to answering your question, don't go further to AI first. go to the logistic first. Logistic should be have a blockchain as well, sharing the information. In our warehouse, we have this kind of vegetables or this kind of fruits. Then you already preserve. This challenge for every country, and the climate change is already happening now. The impact is also make the farmer or fruit less harvest. So industry have a concern about this, government as well. It's good for you to share. We have the same problems. AI is a next after you preserve all the perishable product not becoming lost. You have to make a distinction. Food waste is from plate to bin. Food loss is from farm to plate. Before you eat it, it's lost already during distribution. So young generation should be understand, because this planet belong also to you. Now I'm getting older, and the next is yours. Please protect the planet.
Okay,
Thank you.
Dr. Iwan, thank you. Ms. Musrifa, you want to keep it that? Okay, so to summarize the question again. So we actually have the same problem. We developing countries are facing the same crisis about food loss and unfair prices for the farmers. Fresh produces is actually very tricky because they are easily perished. Yeah, they are susceptible. And before talking about AI, we should actually discuss more about the cold chain, because to preserve these fresh produces, the main problem is preserving them first through cold chain, as it will lower the percentage of food deterioration. As Dr. Iwan said, throughout the supply chain, it will continue degrading 10% every steps. So I think we can maybe collaborate within government, because different countries may have several solutions, and through collaborations from the governments and also industries, we might have an answer to preserve the fresh produces through cold chain innovation or researches. Okay, I think we have another question from. Okay, this one's first, Mr. Michael. Okay, yes, turn on. Oh, your mic is dead. Miss Committee. Okay. Okay.
Check. Okay. First of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Melkar Jacksono. I'm from Gadjah University, Indonesia. My question is, as we can hear, we have a lot new perspective for the agricultural world from you. More importantly, in the economy take. So my question is, when we were talking about AI and its application, back in 2020, there is a minus 2% growth in the food and beverage industry. And now, with the application of AI, what do you think will happen if there is another, what is it called, pandemic? And my last question is, what is the best skill to develop for today's youth in this uncertain era where technology moving faster than before? Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Michael. It's a good question. During pandemic, everything is disrupted. Some countries locked down, global supply chain also disrupted. Some shipment cannot approach for each harbor. But you have to know, food and beverage sector is the essential sectors. We have to run, to produce, because it's part of food security. So before going further to AI, you have to know, because agriculture as a upstream, and the factory is a downstream. These are essential sectors. So your second question is about?
My second question is about what is the best skill for the youth to develop in this today era?
Best skill.
Yes.
Best skill. It means as a entrepreneurship perspective.
Yes.
In the entrepreneurship perspective, you can start with the innovation first. So entrepreneurship is accept the capital. If you have innovation, the capital will follow you to support and make you bigger. So how to make innovation in a food and beverage? Of course, this faculty is about upstream. Maybe we have another faculty in the food engineering, right? Yeah. So innovation can be in two ways. You want go innovation in the upstream. For example, if in Philippines so much typhoon, it's really no point you planting banana, because the banana leaf can be swept by 200-kilometer typhoons. If you planted sweet potato or cassava, then you still can earn money. So the typhoon cannot swipe all the plant under the land, because we eat the roots. These are part of innovation examples. Hope I can answer about your spirit to be entrepreneur in the agriculture industry, Michael. And have a good luck for the entrepreneurship journey in your next life.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Iwan. Mr. Michael, do you have any more feedback questions about this? Okay, so yes, for we are also struggling with the problems from the entrepreneurship perspective. The key to solve this problem is innovation, and Dr. Iwan also suggested that this innovation can happen two ways: downstream and upstream processes. And we here wants to learn more on both processes to actually solve the main problems that Mr. Michael has already asked for. I think there's another question. Okay, yes. Can you maybe introduce yourself first before asking the question?
Okay, thank you for your opportunity. So, I'm Anissa. I'm studying food science and technology in Hasanuddin University now. So there are still many people who doesn't consume fermentation foods due to they're still scared of consuming microbes-based food, especially in Indonesia. And we know as well that fermentation food is good for our health. So how can you make sure it to the society if you have the fermentation food distribution? Thank you.
Right. Fermentation food in Indonesia, there are two ways. Even tempeh is our heritage fermentation food. And some country, even European, Japan, have it, they are appreciating with our fermentation food, right? Maybe your concern is about the lactobacillus drink as a distribute in the cold chain. Maybe you can name it. The brand is like Yakult or whatever. There are two kind of lactobacillus, as I know. Some should be delivered cold chain. Some can be delivered in the room temperature without cold chain. This depend on the typical bacteria you want to use and the way of process, but this also have a good impact. Of course, the best one in the cold chain, but the shelf life is only 2 weeks, should be expired. Then later on, if too much reject in the market, make the price higher. So hopefully about the prebiotic products can answering your answering your question. There are 2 ways, cold chain, and about the fermentation product, we have our own wisdom. Tempeh is also have a good impact for our prebiotic, correct or not, Bu? So we have a local wisdom as well. We are drinking the packaged food. We have our own prebiotic. Hope this can answering yours, and this fermentation product also answering you, Michael, about the innovation. This is a good question. It's a lot of downstreaming because the fermentation is the way to preserve and make it a circular economy in action after the upstream from farmers, yeah, to the downstream.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Iwan. So I would like to add several things about fermentation foods distribution. So if we are talking about fermentation food like tempeh, it can be used, it can be distributed in a normal temperature, storage temperature. And the thing with fermentation is we are working with our friends that we cannot see from our straight eyes directly. We have to see them through microscope. So these microorganisms, if you're talking about probiotic foods, so it's not. If we're talking about probiotic foods, they are the can be bacteria, mostly are lactic acid bacteria. For them to stay alive, they have to be kept in cold storage. If Yakult, a fermented beverage from Japan, is one of the example for fermentation. It's not actually fermentation food. It is some kind of a probiotic drink. Fermentation food, if it's kept longer, there are several changes that can happen to the food products such as tempeh. So if the probiotics, they have to be kept cold because if you remember the definition of probiotic, so probiotic is live microorganisms. So they have 3 requirements to be called a probiotic food or probiotic strains. So they have to live, and then they have to bring health benefits if we digest it. And then the third requirement is if they are digested in 10 about million cells. So if it is not distributed in a cold chain, there are risks that the number of microorganisms will get lower. If it is getting lower, when we digest it, it does not have the same health benefits. So that is why we have to use cold chain for these types of food, probiotic foods. If we're talking about prebiotic foods, it's a different category. If the prebiotic is actually the result of what the microorganisms, the probiotic strain. So it's not a microorganism. It does not live. It's something that they produce, like gamma acid, gamma butyric acid. Is actually one of the prebiotics. So it's different, probiotic and prebiotic. Yeah, also to recite again Dr. Iwan's answer, there are two different categories of distributing fermentation food. We really have to know which product that we are talking about here. But mostly it should have been in cold chain. Okay, thank you, Anisha. Is there any more questions? Okay. Turn on your mic, please.
Morning, Professor and everyone. I have a question for you. I will not talking about export, but according to the data from BPFs, from January to September 2022, compared to the same period in 2023, the import rice in Indonesia is increased. This sharp increase show that Indonesia is increasing depending on important food. So, and especially on wheat. And what do you think about what is the reason of this problem and how to solve this problem? And another question, how can people reduce small scale farming through the government microcredit program by applying one of the nine important technology you mentioned on the slide? Thank you.
About the imported food, I think we are neighboring, we sharing the food together. Even our banana flour to our baby food Indonesia, the midstream is not exist here. Our food loss from banana planted in Indonesia with more than 100 varieties. Some is a growing wild, just throw away. We buy our banana flour from Vietnam. Thank you to becoming our neighbor, sharing your food. Even our rice also not enough because some infrastructure about irrigation still under development, but the sustainability about our food security is a big concern from both private sector and the government as well. About the access capital for the micro farmers running the AI, I think the farmers not jumping into AI because Indonesia is a different comparing with Thailand, Malaysia, and Vietnam. Mostly we are a smallholder farmers, and per region there are off-taker based on a cooperative. These different models. So to access capital mostly provide by the cooperative, but the village also support by government with the village enterprise is named BUMDes. This is a part of the capital provider and also aggregator for their community in the village. Be honest, like we already heard from the Prof. Naswi in Malaysia, sometimes to run the technology is depend on the signal or the 5G. This part of the infrastructure as well. Government also not sleeping about to build the what we name it, infrastructure langit is a part of how to everyone in Indonesia can access digital services. Hopefully, I answer your question.
Okay, so we actually have two questions, Dr. Iwan, from Zoom. Okay, I will read the question. The first one is from Miss Siti Jualia. Hello, sir. Might I ask how can AI be chosen and implemented effectively in agri-food to ensure suitability, efficiency, and effectiveness? Yeah, maybe you can answer this one first. Yes.
Yeah. Before we jumping like AI, like everything's behind the AI, there are the automation. Behind the automation, there's the human machine interface. Behind this, there are someone to do coding to make a limit for every sensors. So what's the point? This critical control point is a must should be controlled automatically to make it consistent. Because if just AI seems like everything, then we becoming misleading. AI is have many pillars. AI also need infrastructure. So machine learning, predictive maintenance, this also artificial intelligence to make it consistent. AI is a helping human, not replacing human being. I think this is my answer.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Iwan. And the second question is from Nusa Finalia. Excuse me, sir, may I ask, do you consider geopolitics to be the main issue currently affecting the agricultural sector? If so, how should we respond to this challenge? Thank you.
Can you repeat,
Okay.
Ms. Putri? Politics?
Do you consider geopolitics, the governments,
Geopolitics.
yes,
Wait.
to be the main issue that affects the agricultural sector? And how should we respond to this challenge?
Yeah. Geopolitics not impacted to our farm directly. Geopolitics is impacted to the logistic. So, like, for example, previously, pink guava all came from Brazil because Brazil is a big farm, dozen hectare replanting pink guava. They are selling very cheap. Then war is begin. From Brazil cannot deliver in a very fast way, should be turning into Canal of Hope. Then the logistic cost is jumping. Later on, the cost very high. And the geopolitics give impact. The local fruit have a popularity to replacing the import one. So it's depend. Some bring good impact. Some also bring bad impact. But if you are in the food ingredient sectors, if we are depend from Latin America, this also problem. But for wheat, our neighbor is a big supplier, Australia. I think the geopolitics even happening, not impact. But we already know about the three F: feed, fuel, and food. The geopolitical threat, if the Hormuz Canal close, the oil prices will be jumping, then everyone can face the reality. All the cane sugar will be converted into ethanol. Cooking oil will be converted into biodiesel. It's much cheaper because as a fuel, it's more expensive. and much cheaper if selling as a cooking oil or as a rice. So paddy will be converted into ethanol, cassava also go into ethanol. Everything can be go into fuel. So of course, geopolitics will be impact into energy prices. When the energy price increase is will be correlative with the food prices. I think you are the researcher. You can research from the previous data. You can take a look during the oil prices almost $120 per barrel. Then you can compare with the food prices. Then you can got the conclusion. These are my data we have.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Iwan. That is all of our online questions. So as we have come to the end of this session, I would like to extend our sincerest appreciation to Dr. Iwan Winardi. Maybe a round of applause, everyone, again, for sharing such a rich and timely presentation. And thank you for the participants for the very active discussion and your enthusiasm. Let us continue to learn, connect, and innovate together. Stay safe, stay curious, and enjoy the rest of the program. I'm going to give the mic back to the MC. Thank you.
Check, check.
Check.
Thank you so much to Dr. Irwandi for being insightful lecture about implementation of AI in agri-food industry. We would like to give the appreciation certificate that will be given symbolized by our moderator. And also, we would like to thank you, Ms. Putrika Cita Pramesi MSc, who led the discussion before, and the certificate of appreciation will be given by the chairman of the 7th Summer Course Program, Dr. Vyameta Ayu Purwandari. With the session of appreciation certificate already implemented, then the third module of the summer course has ended. For operators, you may stop the recording.